our hospitals, especially this mega hospital up here in the Northeast that we're going to almost every day, and our healthcare system. Wow, am I learning a lot about our healthcare system? And I'm just going to share with you, obviously, I'm also learning about how our senior citizens are getting treated. Okay, I mean, I'm actually staying in I'm not staying in a senior citizen home, I'm staying in a home with senior citizens. The phone rings off the hook. Now, I guess I ought to say it, right? Mom and dad, right? The phone rings off the hook here with telemarketing scams. I call them scams. Pharmaceutical this, medical that. It never stops. Mom and dad still have the landline. All right. I have not had a landline phone in 10 years. I'll just say it like that, I guess. I don't know. But they still have the landline. And I tell you what, I did not realize how bad they focus in on senior citizens. And when I hear stories, and I just want to say this, you should check. We should do a little more on that and protecting our seniors, because, when you hear stories about scams and how seniors are taken advantage of, and sometimes you wonder, how does that happen? I mean, mom and dad always put it like this. All right. I'm a candid person. If mom and dad always had it together, they were always on top of their game. So how does that happen? Just telling you, it happens. All right. I see the way that they put it together. Anyhow, let's see what we have going on this morning. Now, I'm your host, BKP. I want to go to number 9, just really quick. I want to do this because we talked about, and I just want to put it out there one more time. All right. Actually, if you're new to the show, my sister, which is on this Northampton County Republican Committee, I said it yesterday, I'm going to say it again. Go to Reuters and type in 4 counties. I think it's 4 counties in America that Reuters has done an in-depth study and report on, that they feel will be like Maricopa County in Arizona, but the 4 counties in the United States that they feel are crucial to President Trump's reelection. And Northampton County, Pennsylvania is just that. I've gone through the details before. I think I'm going to have Lee, the chairman of the Republican Party here Thursday. I'm going to talk to her, try to get her right here at the curvy table. That's what we have, the curvy table. But she is the chairperson, Gloria Lee Snover there, of the Northampton County Republican Committee, and the 2019 Chairman's Dinner, which is Thursday, October 10th, and I will be in attendance for that at the historic Hotel Bethlehem. Their speaker will be Congressman Doug Collins. And the reason I put this up, if you're in Georgia, this is what America thinks of our congressman. I mean, that's where he's at, because I'm going to tell you, I know in the 9th district, as we go to Republican Party meetings here and Republican Party meetings there, that when we go to these different things, all right, I don't want to say we take for granted, but we know our congressman. And that's one thing I'm going to give another shout out. Our Congressman Doug Collins, is he's the kind of congressman we know him in the district. If you don't know him in the district, the 9th district, you're not getting involved, because if you do, congressman, you'll get to know him. America likes this guy. And I mean, they sent him a message from Northampton here, asked him to be their speaker, and their committee and everybody here is all excited that he's going to be their speaker. So excited about that. Going to get Lee here on the show here in the next day or two. Go ahead and take that down to talk about the Chairman's Dinner and let you hear a perspective from 850 miles away, if you're in LJ, Georgia, of what people think of Congressman Doug Collins. One more time. I know I get messages sometimes say, you're getting more done if you wouldn't repeat yourself. I personally don't want Congressman Collins to be our senator. Now, would I be upset if Georgia Governor Brian Kemp comes out tomorrow and says, "Hey, I'm going to appoint Congressman Doug Collins. I'm going to be on board 100%." Okay. And then I'm going to start helping what I could do, the 9th District of Georgia, find a new congressman, a conservative congressman to fill his shoes. But I would like to see Doug Collins as Speaker of the House. My point, 66 degrees there, 8:30. Let's move along. So let's do this. Let's go to really quickly. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time, but let's read the New York Times clips that we did yesterday. Now, Brett Kavanaugh, remember, let's just go with number 10. Okay. Let's start with 10. And we're going to go through 10 through 13, and I'll move you right along when I'm ready, okay? So we're going to go 10, 11, 12, 13, and I'll let you know. So Brett Kavanaugh, okay, is Supreme Court Justice of the United States of America, period, okay? Elena Kagan. This is going to be bad. We have 9 of them. Let's just try it. We have Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Memory, help me. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, it's 1. Okay. We've got Elena Kagan, that's 1. Soda Sotomayor. Sorry, that was wrong. That's 3. Soda Sotomayor. Okay, that's 3. Neil Gorsuch. Okay. Neil Gorsuch. Samuel Alito. I got 5 so far. Okay, 5. Okay. Samuel Alito, Neil Gorsuch, Samuel Alito, Brett Kavanaugh, 6. I got 3 more to get. John Roberts, that has been compromised more than how many times? So I got Samuel Alito, John Roberts, that's been compromised. I've got Clarence Thomas. Is David Souter still on the bench? If he's still on the bench, I may have it. So let's go. I got to do this. I don't care. It's going to take a minute. I just got to do it for myself. I mean, let's go to the Supreme Court. Let's go to it real quick. Supreme Court of the United States. Let's see who they are. Okay. Really quickly. Come on, man. Who's on the Supreme Court? Really quickly. Who's on there? Man, come on. I know. You're going to say, really? That's what you're taking time to do? Let's see. Who's on the court? I am in so much trouble from you guys now. All right. Let's see if I got him. I just want to do it for myself. David Souter. Is he on there? Is that him? Front row, left to right. Justice. No, Stephen. Souter's gone. Justice Stephen Breyer. Crap, I missed that one. I got everybody else. It's Breyer. All right, now that I've wasted your time and you're wondering why you're still tuned in. Number 10, Brett Kavanaugh. Okay. So he has a wife, 2 little girls. I mean, first of all, I'm not going to go too deep, but you have to get real at what's going on in this country. First of all, this is a family. You're going to say, seriously, this is where you're going? I'm going to tell you. This is a family, okay? This is a family unit. This is identified as a family. Now, we're working so hard in this country not only to uphold Roe v. Wade with Brett Kavanaugh, we're also working very hard in this country. A lot of people are working like you would not believe to determine what a unit is, what a family unit looks like, who we are. I'm not joking. We're going to get into that. So first of all, let's look at this. Brett Kavanaugh is a man. I know you're silly. I'm silly. No, he's a man married to a woman, has 2 little girls. He's a daddy, goes home at night, reads to the little girls, coaches their basketball team, does charity work in the community, right? Boom. Supreme Court Justice, possibly believes in the sanctity of life, and they all have fear that he will rule against the LGBTQF, F is for flamers, and the Roe v. Wade. So they had to squash everything about this guy. Everything. See, sometimes, I don't want to say you get confused. Sometimes you think this is about Roe v. Wade. Got it. Sometimes you think this is about the LGBTQ community. Got it. But this is about everything Brett Kavanaugh looks like, acts like, represents, and could make a difference in America. Your pronoun. Okay. A classmate, Max Settler, saw Mr. Kavanaugh with his pants down at a different drunken dorm party, a different one, not the one down the hall, where friends pushed his penis into the hand of a female student. That's what, see, New York Times has this out here. Doesn't matter his wife, doesn't matter about women, doesn't matter about the two little girls that could grow up and be anything they want in the United States of America. We're going to tear this man down for every single possible thing he could stand for that we're trying to destroy. Because what did Trump say last night at the rally? They try to bully you and do everything they can to destroy you. So, number 11, at least 7 people, including Miss Ramirez's mother, heard about the Yale incident long before Mr. Kavanaugh was a federal judge. Her mother, several people heard, okay? Now, we did this yesterday, but I'm telling you right now, if you think this campaign in 2020 will not be the nastiest, ugliest campaign you've ever been a part of or asked to vote for. Number 12. Give me 12. We corroborated the story with 2 officials who have communicated with Mr. Steyer. Is that his name, Steyer? The female student declined to be interviewed, and friends say she does not recall the episode. Does not recall. Interesting. Mr. Steyer, yes, Steyer. Mr. Steyer, who runs that's number 13. Let's go to 13. Mr. Steyer, who runs a nonprofit organization in Washington, notified senators and the FBI about this account. Now, remember, the account is only alleged. The account is only something they've heard. The account is where the alleged victim doesn't even remember this ever happening. But the FBI did not investigate Mr. Steyer, who declined to discuss it publicly. So how many clips here in this article does the New York Times identify Steyer? But he won't come out in public, declined to discuss in public. So what did he do? He called the FBI and said, we heard about this in college and there's an alleged victim, but she don't remember it. Could you look into it? What am I looking into? Something somebody heard around, the dorm room or the cafeteria, the college cafeteria the next morning, possibly happened at a drunken party. So last night in New Mexico, all right, President Trump, and look to the video where President Trump calls out the New York Times reporters behind latest Kavanaugh hit piece. Let's play what President Trump said last night about the New York Times while in New Mexico last night.
They're calling for his impeachment to demean you, to libel you. They try to blacklist, coerce, cancel, or destroy anyone who gets in their way. Look at what they're doing today to Justice Kavanaugh. Look at what they're doing. Did you see the New York Times? Did you see what they're doing? Did you see what Democrats? They're calling for his resignation. they're calling for his impeachment. And the woman involved said she didn't know anything. She doesn't, but they still. So the New York Times had to put out a major apology, and they had to change their story. The woman said, I don't remember that. Okay, and they still want him to be impeached. And I just put out a statement, and he's a great man, by the way, great talent, a great, brilliant man, Brett Kavanaugh. And I just put out a statement on social media that said, I don't think they'll do it, but they should, for the good of the nation. I call for the resignation of everybody at the New York Times involved in the Kavanaugh smear story.
Okay, I agree 100% with the president, okay? I think the Kavanaugh smear story, everybody at the New York Times, we should call for their resignation. Absolutely. Now, let me just say this, okay? The New York Times is this amazing big building in New York City, right? It is interesting when I say hashtag deep state corporate corrupt media, I think we all should be hashtagging that. Because when FetchYourNews.com, now this is an opinion show. Are we clear? Opinion, with an echo. This is my opinion, 2 hours a day, okay? If you will go to FetchYourNews.com right now, and you will click through all of the counties, we have Rabun County, White County, flip over to Lumpkin, back over to Fannin, Gilmer. If you will click on all of the counties on our website, 2 in North Carolina, and you start reading the articles from our reporters, okay, we do a better job, or we actually do our job where the New York Times, I mean, we're a small network and we're growing rapidly every day. We're an online news network. I am the CEO of FetchYourNews.com. This is an opinion show. So this does not bleed into our reporters' stories, okay? It's interesting, a small online news network like us, if you will go read our stories throughout the day, we do the job of fact checking. We do the job of corroborating our source. We don't take 4 alleged, pieces and put together and make up a story. We will hold stories, and we will hold stories that some think need to be out there now because we can't fit the 1 or 2 pieces in that we feel good about putting our name on. We had a story 2 weeks ago. We put the story out. The story was very accurate. It was accurate, but an individual called and said, you know what? The way the story is written, 1, 2, 3, boom, boom, boom. I went back and I said, I agreed. We put the story back out and removed some very graphic facts from the story. That I will say. That's who we are. But the New York Times, wow. So let me flip through here. There's a couple more I had on Brett Kavanaugh. Don't forget number 14. This lady lied, okay? So bad. Christine Blasey Ford, okay? Number 16, New York Post. New York Times corrects story detailing misconduct claim against Brett Kavanaugh. Now, the story's out there, okay? The story is out there. Who is picking up it's being retracted? It is out there. Done, okay? Let me go with this. Number 18, Kavanaugh book co-author, right? I put this up. It says New York Times editors cut key. The book's authors, okay? This is a fiction. This book is fiction, okay? People want to be in the book. People are trying to remember their college days or whatever the case may be. But this book is nothing but garbage, trash, period, about a good Supreme Court justice. All right. New York Times, they left out the key detail about the alleged victim not remembering the assault. That was the president said last night. Now, I want to run through a couple more here, DJ, before we close out. But I was thinking about this more. Do I go back? Okay. Do I go back and look a little further into Kavanaugh this morning or let it go? Because the interesting thing I find is the media. I got up this morning, 4 a.m., okay, from the rally last night. All right, let's just go from the rally. This is part of it. Number 34, radical Dems want to demolish everything. And the New York Times is helping, and ABC is helping, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, the list goes on. Washington Post, they are helping, San Francisco Times or whatever they are. They want to demolish everything, okay? Number 35, Kamala Harris. You know, okay, for the good of the country, when will any of these candidates actually say the right thing for the good of the country? Now, Amy, if a candidate has said the right thing, the Democrat candidates, for the good of the country, then they're off the stage. They're no longer candidates. They get rid of them immediately. Amy Klobuchar, which I would not vote for, from Minnesota, senator from Minnesota, has actually said a couple things for the good of the country. She is pushed way aside. The others are just I said this the other day, and I know you might not like the way I use it, but they're just throwing feces from the cage. Well, if you can say children in the cages, okay, they're in the Democrat cage and they're just throwing feces to see what will stick on the wall. Now, Biden is deep state, and they got him up here. Warren, trying to run a popular campaign that she'll bring down Wall Street and collapse everything and give you free health care. And every time you get the sniffles, you can go sit in the waiting room somewhere because it'll be free. But if you need a triple bypass surgery, you're going to have to get on an 8-month list. All right. And then you got Bernie Sanders that is, combing his hair, as Candace would say, combing his hair with a balloon, and he's the angry Jew flailing his hands and everything like that, and wants you to know, I wrote the damn bill. But last night, number 35, Kamala Harris is one of the feces throwers. She's a real fastball with it. Calls Kavanaugh's nomination a sham. It was a sham. Shimmy sham. It was this is ridiculous. Last night, the Rachel Maddow show, it was a sham is what it was. Just because the gals and girls said that he might have smacked him on the rump and throwed his ding-a-ling around at a college drunken party. I'm sorry, I was going to try not to do that today, but this is the ridiculous stuff that we're hearing. Now, Francis, he got into it, number 36, and the media feels we ought to hear from Francis. Number 36, O'Rourke, Kavanaugh should step down immediately or be impeached. I don't care if he's done nothing. I do not care. I don't care if we have no facts whatsoever. That's the way I will be president. All Democrats. I will not wait for facts on anything whatsoever to make my decision to move forward on asking somebody like that. Now, a couple more here, and we're going to flip the script. Is that what the kids are still saying? I don't know if they're saying it or not. 41, number 41, Nadler. Judiciary too busy impeaching Trump to focus on Kavanaugh claims. Whoa. Too busy. I am convinced out in New Mexico, that crowd, I'm convinced from sea to shining sea, even in areas of California where Trump is going to be in the next 2 days doing fundraising. What do you say about that? I'm convinced from sea to shining sea that the American people that are still grounded, the American people that are still, they're not wearing, they've not been probed by a UFO. are saying, what are we impeaching him for? Okay. I'm serious. So let's do here. Number 42, Nadler on Kavanaugh. We have our hands full with impeaching the president right now. That was number 42. We got our hands full with impeaching the president. We'll get into that in just a minute. Number 43, Nadler on Kavanaugh. Frankly, we are concentrating our resources on determining whether to impeach Trump. Now, 1 minute they're determining whether to, the next minute they're busy impeaching him. 44, let's go with 44, Nadler. Nadler is the chairman, Gerard from New York. The little bullfrog there is the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, which Doug Collins, our congressman, is the ranking Republican. The jurisdiction we have with respect to sitting Supreme Court nominee is, did he lie to the Senate? Did he lie to the Senate? Did he lie? That's what we got to find out. So number 45, Presley to introduce a resolution, number 45, Presley to introduce a resolution to open impeachment inquiry against Kavanaugh. Now, we don't need any facts, just like Trump. We need nothing. We need nothing at all in facts. And number 58 is Presley. Go ahead and put her up there. She's number 58. That's her. Massachusetts Congresswoman, one of the squad. No facts needed to go ahead and get this impeachment thing going. So go back to 45. All right. And let me see what else I have on this. If I do. Already pulled those up. Wait just a second. I'm sorry. I better go backwards here, right? Let's see. I want to see if CNN had something this morning. All right. MSNBC, they had some clips, and I like to show you what I call the little bylines there. MSNBC this morning, as you can see in the corner, 2:08 Pacific time, so 5 a.m. right out of the box, number 48. Number 48, Trump, the New York Times is dead. Dead. Now I'm going to say right now, this is my chance to say, folks, fetchyournews.com, fastest growing online news network in Western North Carolina and North Georgia. Fastest growing. Why? Because our reporters actually present stories with facts that are accurate in stories that you want to hear and see. I'm your host, BKP. Kavanaugh, you got to remember, Kavanaugh encompasses everything. That's the takeaway. You're going to hear today, and you heard last night, the New York Times did it on purpose to get Kavanaugh. Now, I said it yesterday before we go to break here, DJ. I said it yesterday, right? Kavanaugh, right, is hold on, I just lost my train of thought. All right. Kavanaugh, suburban white women, right? Suburban white women. Yes. They're trying to push the suburbs because I'll tell you this, the North Carolina 9th District and all of their research that they say they have, okay, internal polling and everything, is they're gaining votes, the Democrats, in suburbs that have been Republican, and they're gaining with suburban white women. But they won't tell you that, believe it or not, rural America is growing also in their vote. So what I want to say here is Kavanaugh represents everything. Family, identity, you name it. Every single thing they hate is all turned into Kavanaugh man, woman, children, LGBTQ community, Roe v. Wade. It's all in there. We're going to talk about it when we return. I'm going to take a little break here, and we'll be right back. And I want to do what I'm talking about. I'm going to go a little different direction when we return. Okay, take us a break.